Hey everybody, welcome back to Northernlion. Plays Binding of Isaac AFTERBIRTH Plus. Easy but boring win last time. It was a good boring movie. Like a biopic about Winston Churchill's life starring Gary Oldman. Called The Finest Hour. YGCB4MC1. Yo, Unicorn Stump. I'm for it. Trinket that'll help with our damage, which is good, but our rate of fire is not where we want it to be. Major concern though, HP. If we can, I mean, that's a fire rate increase. A little bit of a tiny one, but still. If we could raise our HP, I'd be a very happy man. Alternatively, if we could get an orbital early on, that would allow us to use Unicorn Stump basically, you know, with no concern whatsoever, I'd be pretty happy. I will admit, if you want to be incredibly needlessly reductive, our Trinket kind of makes Unicorn Stump usable right from the get-go. I'm just not sure if it makes it worth using from the get-go. We do get a little bit of damage that doesn't require us to shoot in order to manifest, but still, you know, it's like not really an enormous improvement. But we could, you know, try something like this on for size, and now we'll just wait. And I think you have seen all you need to see related to using Unicorn Stump without any kind of orbital status. And that's okay. It's very, very good. I can't stress enough, like, in terms of items that can absolutely win you a run, Unicorn Stump has got to be in that, like, B or C tier. It can win you a run. It can render you invincible once per room. Occasionally more, but you're very, very unlikely to need it more than once per room. All you need is something that can do damage while you're made, you know, offensively completely impotent. Hey, hey, hey! Easy there. I don't know. I'm deciding whether or not the curse room has any merit to it whatsoever. It's tempting. You know, we could get spirit hearts, but I think the way that they've changed secret rooms, you know, over the past couple of years in Isaac has made it so that I don't expect to get spirit hearts anymore. It's certainly not unlikely, but it's not too likely either. A lot of rooms with, you know, 2 red chests, bunch of bombs, angry spiders, etc., etc.'s. What do you got for me? Red HP. Ugh. Range upgrade. I'll go ahead and say it, okay? That's worthless. With 29 range, we were not worried about it to begin with. Now, that is probably worth opening. See, now this. We should have walked closer. We could have gotten another enemy in the crossfire there, but just having, like, any invincibility for that situation is really, really nice. I would like to say, I didn't even mention it, the reason our damage is good is because we have money equals power. Well, that's part of the reason. Because if we had less money, let's say we had 0, we would lose 0.2 damage. We'd still be at 4.5, which is really good. For an Eden start in particular, but, you know, there's an incentive to get money and an incentive not to spend it as well. We got a little ways to go before we start to feel, you know, the anxiety start to abate. Right now I'm still feeling a little anxious, you know? It's like your first time on a ferry. You're going, oh, I've seen in the news, sometimes these things capsize. 45 minutes into the ride, you know what? It's a nice experience, you know, enjoying. I don't know if you've ever enjoyed yourself, but it's a wonderful experience. This gives us deal with the devil fodder. You know, you go to the triple O's on the boat. You go have a dilly bar from the frozen food section, and you're good to go. Hello. What's up? I don't know. Can you ask me in like 40 minutes? Kate, I thought you promised it to somebody. I mean, I don't think I've promised mine to anybody. All right, as far as I'm concerned, we're good to go. Dude, it's like PAX is wild, okay? It's like buying tickets to like a Billy Joel concert or something. We get media badges every year. I still get in the virtual lineup for PAX. You know why? Because I have friends who don't get media badges, and if I don't get a media badge, I would like to still be able to attend PAX regardless. I don't want to stake my entire, you know, attendance at one of my highlights of the year on getting a media badge. You never know. Somebody might look at your content and be like, you talk a little bit about, you know, Seminole-related topics too often for us to think that you're welcome here for a family environment. Now, PAX has always been very accommodating to me, so I have no reason to assume that that would happen. I'm just saying, if one day it did, I'd still like to be able to attend and be like, you know what, no hard feelings. I'm just here for the games. But then it becomes like a complicated game of Sherlock Holmes-esque who's done it, you know? I buy a badge for me, a badge for my wife. Then people come out and they go, I didn't get passes. Is there any chance I could buy yours off of you? And I go, well, I don't know yet. If I get a media badge, that's one open, but I don't know. Maybe my wife will need it because maybe she won't get a badge. She gets a badge, who knows, you know? Then we got, it's a whole complicated endeavor. Shouldn't have been so risky there, but I don't want these. Straight up, I don't want them. I'm very concerned about where we stand on this run. We got the mom transformation already, which is hilarious. Gulp. We gulped. Well, we had a trinket. What was it? I need to, like, scrub back in the video. Ugh. Well, we're still moving along here. I'm gonna let you know. Things look good right now, but this is genuinely a little bit of a scary situation to find yourself in. Really just waiting on any kind of passive damage dealing source that could help us out. We obviously want Guppy's Tail. We obviously do not want Cursed Eye. You know what I would like to see? These are questions that I don't really want you to answer. Oh, you know what? We could start trying to kill enemies with Mom's Knife. It's worth something. It's not worth that much, but it is worth something. I'll give you that. I would love to see data on whether your odds of becoming... Let me put it this way. How your odds of becoming Guppy are affected if you pick up Guppy's Tail first. Because obviously, it should affect it positively because you have 1/3 of the requirements to become Guppy. But in my head, I'm also like, but it minimizes the chance of red chests showing up. Red chests have a chance to give you Guppy items. Beyond having a chance to give you Guppy items, they have a chance to take you to a deal with the devil where you could get Guppy items. Or alternatively, from being able to buy Guppy items, you could get red chests in the deal with the devil that you teleported to. They could give you Guppy items. But some of those red chests may be golden chests as a result of Guppy's Tail. You see what I'm getting at here? Like, I'm not suggesting it's worse to pick up Guppy's Tail than it is to not. All I'm suggesting is that I think there's probably a subtle downward pressure on it that is ultimately certainly compensated for by the fact that you're also getting 1/3 of the requirements to become Guppy. Now, I gotta admit, this run is a little bit better than I was giving it credit for. It is an extreme pain in the butt to try to, Hey, that was such a waste. It's an extreme pain in the butt to kill enemies with your downward-facing Mom's Knife, but it is what it is. We're gonna use a bomb right here. If we get Guppy's head, we will take it, but we will not take it with us. We'll just take it temporarily, you know, to get that Guppy dream chance. It would give us flies, which would be very helpful. By the way, I just realized. You know what we smelted with that gulp? It was the Locust of Conquest, which is extremely great. Although, where are my flies at? There they are. Okay. I forgot they existed. Unsung heroes. I'm starting to become happy with this run. The only damage we've taken, unprotected, has been, let me out, please. Has been to a bad trip pill, which is basically just part of the cost of doing business. We got a decent trinket. It protects us from 1 damage per floor. We got a bead on the Guppy chance, but honestly, like, I mean, we didn't take any deals with the devil at first opportunity because they sucked. More or less. They didn't suck, but they were too slow. Like, Contract from Below is totally fine if you got HP to burn. If you don't have HP to burn, it's kind of trash. And we have Mom's Knife. And by Mom's Knife, I mean money equals power. Money equals power is real useful because we're just trying to, you know, maximize our damage. So on the off chance we actually have to attack enemies, we're able to do so. Plus it makes our flies better, I assume. So it's a very unorthodox run, but it's a run in which, you know, I think we know what we're doing to some extent. If only I could position this knife a little better. That went very well, though. Okay, let's try it. Very, very bad rate of fire, but a good damage improvement. You know what? I'm going to go back, and this is where we're starting to get a little risky. I'm going to go to the cursed room. I'm willing to take him up on that offer. For half a spirit heart? Oh, please. Hasn't paid for itself. Has not paid for itself. Not directly, at least. Fair, fair, fair. Okay, you know, you try to make it happen, sometimes you're gonna get burned like that. It's okay. 6.83 damage, right on pace for boss rush, but, you know, unlikely to make it happen. I know you're looking, you're, NL, there's a demon heart. I can't get it. Cool yourself. Can't get it. I don't have the ability to fly. There's probably ways we could get to it, but don't have the ability to fly. I could buy a card, reroll, buy a card, reroll, buy a card, reroll. Hope to get the Hanged Man. Bit of a stretch, though. Okay, this is like a carbon copy of our first room last time, except champion enemies this time. Should not be taking the pills. Simultaneously, cannot at all help myself. He's fallen victim to my ingenious trap. No, please. I've screwed it up. Please, God. Our terrible rate of fire. Slowly, but surely, making an effort to wipe him. Yo, this is poison, dude. Sincerely, I saw my life flash before my eyes. If you looked at that and said, I don't understand why he's complaining so much, consider every single one of those hits took off a quarter of our HP. The shots came in at an incredible speed and were curving and are different every single time. Also consider the fact that I have a 19 rate of fire, which effectively means that our DPS is right around average spawn levels right now. Not exactly a great vote of confidence in that room. And yet here we are. Alive! Normally you'd say alive and well. You'll notice I left off the well portion because, well... alive, I would say, is a more apt description. Hey. Hey. Okay, here's what you do. Highly acceptable. Don't shoot. Dude, I don't know. This run is basically beholden to getting a Tears upgrade. If I don't get a Tears upgrade, I'm not saying it has to be on this floor. If I don't get a Tears upgrade relatively soon or some kind of amazing defensive item, I'm going to be nervous. On the surface, am I going to look calm and ready? No, I'm going to be freaking out. I don't even want to go to the boss fight, because if we get a deal with the devil, I'd much rather get a deal with the devil when we have the opportunity to buy something. Who knows, maybe we'll get 20 spirit hearts by the end of this floor, you know? It can happen. I would spend 5 cents and in turn spend some damage to pick up a spirit heart right now. This is a very delicate situation. I will say, and this has happened to us a lot. Like, a lot. If it weren't for the fact that we have Unicorn Stump, I'm just giving myself position now because we squandered that. If it weren't for the fact that we had Unicorn Stump, we'd be real scared right now. Possibly even so scared we'd be dead. You... How dare you? I should never have been hit by that. I'll admit. At least, you know, we spend one bomb, we're back on the level. If it weren't for Unicorn Stump, we would be in just an awful, awful, awful spot. And money equals power, huge help. Were it not for money equals power, you know, 19 rate of fire, it would kill a lesser run. So I'm extremely thankful for where we're at. I will absolutely buy this and nothing else. It's the most money well spent I've ever experienced in my entire life. Let's go to our item room. I'm going to be, you know, I'm saying it too much, I'll admit. I'll level with you. This run's trying to kill me. So, many runs are collaborative experiences. Me and the game work together to provide an enlightening experience for the viewer. I'm sorry to tell you, this video is not about your enjoyment whatsoever. This video is about man versus technology. They put out a hit on me. And I'm trying to ensure that we don't let it get us down, you know? I did not hear a bomb explode, and it's starting to cheese me. Really? Now, if you ever wanted to know why I think that tears are the heart and soul of DPS, you'll notice 7.76 damage, pretty darn good. 6-second time to kill for every single one of these enemies, not good at all. It worked. Red chest? Red chest. I don't even know. Like, Guppy items, of course, worth a lot, but spirit hearts, dude. It's kind of the fuel that we need right now. This is going to be an interesting one. You never know when the interesting ones will strike. You always think in your head, you know, you watch a lot of movies, you're like, oh, it'll probably be win 10, win 20, win 100. Nah, this time. They strike when you least expect it, dude. Ouija board. Cool. Highly, highly great. It's a very good item, Ouija board. Just kidding. Double key room, though. What do you got for me? Ooh, you know, basically like a good damage upgrade. We will fight the boss. If possible, it seems a little spendy, but I will pay for a battery charge to fight the boss. Because again, and thankfully it exists, our rate of fire is horrendous. I would never, if possible, if it was avoidable in any capacity, I would never fight the boss under these circumstances without some form of invincibility. 19 rate of fire is that bad. It really is. Now, this boss is not difficult, thankfully. But it would be a lot easier if he would choose to jump into my knife. So that lasted, you know, he took off like 30% of his HP there. Luckily, he's not tanky. The spiders should die in one hit. Big spiders probably two. Seems like that's the case right now. It's basically, this is about the same difficulty as fighting a regular ragman early on. Most of the time when the Wretched shows up, we just keep talking about whatever nonsense we were talking about before. We actually have to focus a little bit to get through this, especially because our HP is so delicate with the potential deal with the devil/angel situation approaching. Wow, never mind. Turns out we didn't have much to be scared for. Sweet. I love it. He said, hoping it masked how much he hates it. Hey, Portal, eat my butt. So at this point, we're starting to get into, I wouldn't say desperation, because everything, you know, we're improving floor to floor, at least a little bit, but obviously I want that. I'm starting to think of perhaps non-traditional items that could take us over the top. Car battery giving us double the length of time with Unicorn Stump. Start to see that maybe there's a scale there. I do want to open that. This one is like, no more flies, so I gotta fight you. Luckily, I got all those range upgrades earlier. Alright, well, punching bag is not worth much. We're gonna double our bombs, because we definitely want to open this. And we got a bomb back. You know, you don't need to get to 99 bombs. All you need is enough bombs to never run out, I suppose. Guppy's head is extremely good. It's not good enough to take forever at this point, just because our run is not built around that sort of situation. But it certainly, you know, is one part of the Guppy conundrum. Now, you know you're in a weird spot. Not a bad spot, just an unusual spot. When you find yourself asking questions like, hey, does the derelict mom's knife that you get from the mom transformation lead to flies from Guppy? That's how you know, like, most of the time people would be like, why do you care? Why don't you just use your tears to do damage? I mean, well, were I able to? That's a great idea. Why didn't I think of that? This is a borderline challenge run. You're so lucky, and so am I for not being hit, but still. Being a real piece of garbage right now, you know? Pop the world card. You know what? Saves me from going down this direction. And we don't have to go that way either, which is actually amazing. Because I was definitely gonna navigate those treacherous waters. This is the kind of run you need. Not even just need, but you like to have every once in a while. Just to remind yourself, you know, a quintessential part of living is overcoming strife, is overcoming challenge. You know, I genuinely think that human beings, you know, we're at our happiest when we've overcome a challenge, particularly if it's like a long-term goal. You know, people are always like looking forward to retirement. You know what happens in retirement? You know, first off, if you get there, congratulations. No question about it. Secondarily, you start to get bored, you know? You know what my grandfather did when he retired? He ran his own business first for like 30 years. He retired. He was like, I don't know what to do with myself. Okay, we did get car battery. We asked for it. It's very spendy, but still. He was like, I think I'm going to start like another business, but this one's just a little bit less pressure. I think people get bored when they retire. You know, it's the overcoming of strife is part of the human experience. If you can do so in a productive and safe way, that's the dream, I think. All right, car battery. This is a good test. Go ahead. No, he moved slightly away. All right, it works. We can make this happen. We have to take the pact. It's a fire rate increase. Our fire rate is now actually good. Not just not bad. It's good. There is a long way for it to go for it to be great, but 9 rate of fire, 8 damage. Totally acceptable. Alright, we got very little to complain about here. You know, I think sometimes we, as human beings, we think that the ideal world would be a world that's... And maybe not everybody has to share this opinion. I might be coming way off base for some of you, but... You know, they think that the ideal world is a world that's free of stress. It's a life of leisure. And I can understand that. You know, my brain is not as fundamentally broken as I pretend it is sometimes, but I think that the ideal world is like a world in which the challenges that are presented to you are challenges that you're capable of meeting, and meeting with excellence. You know, I think that's part of what's fun about playing video games, you know, is basically simulating a challenge and then kicking the crap out of it. If you could just... But you know, when a video game's too easy, it's boring, right? And when a video game's too hard, it's not fair. I think there's a metaphor for life in there. Like, you don't think, and there, by the way, there's bigger problems than being bored. I imagine there's like a lot of, you know, the offspring of very, very wealthy individuals. And they're like, I feel completely unfulfilled in my life because all of my wants and needs are accounted for. I'm not trying to create like a Fight Club situation here, by the way. I'm just saying, you know, I'm sure you get different problems at that level. Problems that are not nearly as relevant as, you know, real problems. But still, it feels real to you, I'm sure. Dude, so check this out. Now that we've got decent DPS, we'll start taking damage for literally no reason. Now, what we'll do is we can leverage that. The spirit of this game is leverage, my dude. So with car battery, literally, we can turn maybe a 0.2 damage profit per room. Look at that. So I am 100% entirely willing. And hopefully we will get blood bag out of it, because I could use the HP for devil deals and, you know, fuel for, well, playing more blood banks. Shouldn't that, I literally in my head was like, don't do this, there could be greed. But I was like, we don't need to worry about that. Well, this will save us 1 room of backtracking. Smart, really, really good and smart idea. But don't get too cocky, like this run is still spotty, for real. Now, many of you are probably saying, why doesn't he use his unicorn stump to go play the demon judgment? Well, the demon judgment might pay out. I wouldn't be surprised if it did. But it would have to pay out with something really good. Which it could. But it would have to pay out with something extremely good in order to justify going for that instead of, like, you know, at least a 0.2, maybe even a 0.4 damage increase once per room. Plus, after this thing explodes, maybe we can play the Demon Judgment anyway. Once we get to 99 cents, that's when it stops regardless. At this point, we might be able to pivot to a deal with the, or playing the Demon Judgment instead. And what I guess the other thing we could do is play the regular Judgment. Hope that he gives us HP. When he gives us HP, play the Demon Judgment or the Blood Bank more. Sure, that's also, I think these are all very apt things that we could take advantage of. So you know what? I think I've talked myself into it, to be honest. This is where, you know, we've suffered a little bit over the course of this run. We're trying to turn that suffering into redemption and success. Okay. Probably I will be able to make use of that key, so thank you. A luck upgrade. It's not worth nothing, but then I would really love if you could pay out with the blood bag. Luck upgrades, please. Blood bag, please. Oh. Okay, so we're at maximum and no shop on this floor. I'm not disappointed about getting a luck upgrade. Well, that's not true. I am disappointed. But it's not bad. It's just not... Oh, we don't have a charge. That's right, and now we've... Well, it really is our own fault, isn't it? Yeah, okay, so forget the Demon Judgment, dude. I'd rather have Verp just in case. You kicked me away. No, don't step on my best friend. I need you to step on me. Well, it's gonna be a little bit more of a real fight than originally anticipated. Anyway, I feel reinvigorated as a result of having a genuine challenge. Which is why I'm also gonna say nothing for the next 45 seconds while I finish this fight. Like Master Chef. Don't do it. Oh, you're lucky, and then immediately incredibly unlucky. Okay, Spirit Hearts, please. Golden chest. Basically, I mean, literally paid for itself. Guppy, Guppy, Guppy. No Gobsters. Okay. Well, first I was very excited to get a deal with the devil. Now I'm not very excited at all. We don't have the wafer. We do have Holy Mantle, or whatever, Wooden Cross. So we have 1 Holy Mantle per floor. Not worth a ton, but not worth 0. At this point, by the way, we may be over opening golden chests now that I think about it. Like, we don't benefit from getting money anymore. Now that I think about it, we've already gotten, like, all of the... Oh, you're done. We've already gotten all of the Guppy items we can get from them. Oh, you're done. Thank God for car battery, dude. It's actually made our mom transformation worth something. Yes, I will use a bomb. Turns out this room was worth it. It just took a long time to manifest. Now we got no keys. Why can't I have 99 keys and no sense? Well, careful what you wish for now that I think about it. Hey, there we go. Dude. I'm doing the optics of this run right now. Well, you know what cheeses me off just a little bit? An attack fly wins the run. A cube of meat wins the run. We may already win the run, admittedly, but it's so easy. All it takes is one extremely common archetype of item to step in and, like, put us in a dominant position. But instead, they keep giving us, you know, a little piecemeal. They go, hey, how'd you like a little bit of, you know, your mom's knife is twice as good now, but you can't aim it. Okay. I mean, I'll try. Now that we got this, we owe the game a debt. What I'm going to do with that is, I want to go to the curse room, but I also want to, you know, try to maybe get to a secret room in case one existed there. I'm going to assume that it doesn't. We're not going to use it on the way in because we have Holy Mantle. You never know. We could fight enemies in here. Obviously, we didn't. A health upgrade. What? A real, honest-to-goodness health upgrade? What have we done to deserve this golden gift? Our first health upgrade over the course of the entire run. Nah. We will get that. I was just kind of, I was in the middle of moving. Thank you. Please, please. Oh. I'm trying to think. I think we are in a decent spot. Especially now. We're in a decent spot for the late game bosses. Mom's Heart is going to be a little weird. Every other boss, at least at this level, I don't expect to be too bad. Blue Baby and Isaac shouldn't be terrible. Because the first two phases we can definitely take out with Unicorn Stump play. And then the phases where they move around a little bit more, we do have great DPS now. So I think, you know, especially after picking up a few Spirit Arts on this floor, I feel a lot better about this whole operation. And thank God, Unicorn Stump, you know, after waiting so long to appear in the save file, has done me a great deal of benefit here. Love it. I was just gonna say, better not be friggin' Krampus. So we just had a deal with the devil that was useless, and then they want to give us a deal with the devil that's useless. Probably gonna be our last one of the game. Alright, I see how it is. I'm not happy with it, but I see how it is. It's gonna be one of those days in Isaac. It's okay, you know? I think people are gonna like to see it. They're gonna, you know, I've oftentimes said I'm the best Isaac player on planet Earth, and I think I am, and a run like this definitely it goes a long way towards proving it. So I'm excited, you know, anytime you get the opportunity to actually prove, you know, that you are who you thought you were, I think is a great opportunity. Now, am I going to fight Hush? That's a funny joke. Let me give it the exact amount of laughter that it deserves for its cleverness. Done. No, I'm not going to fight Hush. I think that would be a very, very bad decision. Ah, so it is a health downgrade. Now, if we could get a deal with the devil, this would be worth something. That was not smart. We're pretty unlikely to get one. I mean, we're a third likely to get one. You think secret room? Would be real nice. If we get one, it's probably free. If we even want it to be free, because, you know, permanent Polaroid invincibility on a long fight actually could be worth something with this build. The dream scenario is 9 lives. Shouldn't have even opened it, but if we get 9 lives, we will win handily. If we get no deal with the devil, we'll probably win with a bit of a struggle. I no longer see a loss as plausible Which is great news. I don't want to... I love watching YouTubers with frenetic commentary like Northernlion, open quotation mark, I don't know if a loss is plausible anymore. Well, I guess, you know, I'm not much of a shoutcaster. Except for when we were the first Rocket League ESL casters, but you know... And have a sleep the days go by, million little nights and days go by. Bad Elvis impression, NL? Thanks. It was a Stephen Merritt from the Magnetic Fields impression, so I take that as a not as much of an insult as you thought it was, but still not a compliment. What's remarkable is that this run is only barely slower than our last one, on which we had Brimstone. It really says a lot about our lack of damage on the last one. You know, I have to level with you as well and maybe offer a slight mea culpa, aka that's smartass for apology. I have been focusing on how wildly, you know, uneven the run is, that I've stopped using my tiers except in situations where it's strictly necessary. I'm like exclusively using Unicorn Stump, which I think is a good idea because it preserves our HP. But the conventional stats on this run are no longer bad. They're not chest worthy. Like, they're not above average for the chest, at least, but certainly no longer, like, abysmal. Really? There was a time where this was the only way to deal damage. Now, you know, having a 9 rate of fire leaves us in a better spot, but I was genuinely scared on that Mega Ma room. That was a nightmare. Keys? Ooh! Cracked crown. Mostly happy with this for rate of fire, honestly, but every stat it gives us was worth something. It's so annoying. Like, I'm not... Okay, I've already picked up that item, so I'm a little cheesed, but okay. Alright, sure. Hey. Believe you me, I'm not complaining about our lot in life. If we didn't get that mom transformation, who knows where this run would have gone. Possibly straight into the garbage can. But it's like the least enjoyable way to kill enemies that I've ever thought of in my entire life. Especially enemies that are small or mobile. It is just a pain in the butt. Now, bosses, it tends to be pretty good, weirdly enough. Not a secret room. 48-hour energy is pretty much irrelevant. Okay, so just phase 1, just get yourself into something like this. Apparently that strategy works, the more you know. Alright, now we use our real DPS, and you can see it's not bad. If there is a benevolent god in the universe, you will give me at least one good to great item on the chest, though, as a way of saying, hey, NL, you've completed the challenge. It's like when you complete a year of middle school and you get to watch Armageddon. They go, hey, it's the final day of school. What are we going to teach you? Some arithmetic? Nah, it's movie time. Are you crazy? You're going to forget it all over the summer anyway. Conehead. It's a spirit heart. Oh, Dead Eye. And then Bad Eye. Yo, we can get a Guppy item here. Isn't it lovely? Wait, let's try it again. By the way, I know you're trying to sleep. I'll give you a little lullaby version. Isn't it Guppy? Isn't the run so good? 3 special items. Good like I thought they would be. And then I can't hit that last note that Stevie Wonder's at. When it made there's something I sure better. Isn't it Guppy? Made of gup. You can tell the run's amazing now because I'm not even using Unicorn Stump anymore. Unicorn Stump, by the way, this one's for you, okay? Amazing performance. Thank you so much for your incredible amount of health. And help, I should say, over the course of this run. You've done an incredible job. Sincerely, a beautiful helper volunteering your time to help me get a win. And then it all came together at the end in, like, the easiest finish of all time, but still. Oh, thanks for watching. I hope you guys have enjoyed the episode. If you did, click the like button. Helps a great deal. Of course, subscribe if you want to see more in the future. For now, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.